Hello everybody, my name is RoydRoyd. I make Third Strike videos. This is questions and answers part 2. And you're watching Call of Duty Black Ops. I'm really bad at it. It's just something for you to look at. You should be aware already that I'm actually having technical problems. This TV can't detect my PS2. So yeah, you can just watch me fail in Black Ops. But I do alright in this game. I think I end up with a positive score in both games. Maybe not. Doesn't matter. Let's get started with the questions. I have a couple questions written down here from some people. Mike66. You know who you are. What is Rockefeller's beef with you? It's not beef. It's all love. You know, John D. Rockefeller or Dr. Sub-Zero. We're friends. I'm friends with a lot of people from that family fun Denjin crew, the Denjin arcade crew. Like a lot of them are really cool guys. Yeah, I go to California pretty much every year just to hang out with them, play some Third Strike, you know, just to hang out. So basically every time we go down, I always hang out with the same people, like John D, 5 Star, Paul Lee, Mike Watson, Hung B, whatever. And yeah, we've been friends for a while now, actually. Probably since I went to California for the first World Championships of Third Strike. I'm not sure why they like me. I'm kind of an asshole, but it might be they probably just got a liking to me mainly because I don't know. It's tough to say. It might be because I did relatively well in the World Championships of Third Strike. I mean, not only in placing, but I just did well. I OCV'd Team Texas, Shin Chang, Mo Preem, and I think Mike Lai. Hope I got his name right. That might have been it. So I just kind of made a name for myself with that. And it was the same time I kind of had this Third Strike video that you'll find on YouTube somewhere called Steroids Misc shit. But the main reason why a lot of people took a liking to me from that area is because I have chat logs. I used to save chat logs between me and someone else. It was very private, and I only showed a couple people. But basically, the other guy's an idiot, and he didn't know anything about Street Fighter, but just kept talking like he did. Yeah, sale weed. It's an inside thing, if anything. So shout out to all the SoCal guys. You know who you are. What do you think of everything that's been revealed in Third Strike Online Edition? To me, for a $15 game, looks pretty good. You know, it's good graphics. What they've changed is pretty good. I mean, like in terms of like the text, looks pretty sharp. Looks very solid. But to be honest with you, as someone that's a competitive player, I really only care about the actual how I play with other people in Third Strike, just the competition value. So I only really care about the online aspect. Oh, I just threw up in my mouth. Yeah, I only really care about the online aspect since it is Third Strike Online, and I just wish there was a training mode for online. I wish there was a one-on-one training mode where it's always a private 2-man lobby maximum. One person invites the other. I mean, the players can figure out a way to talk to each other, if it's by wireless headset, if it's through the computer, or it could be like Yahoo Messenger or AIM. You know, just have that health regen, have like the training options that you did in the other Third Strike game or the other Street Fighter games. Not just Third Strike. Every Street Fighter game should have had an online training mode. I'm sure Justin Wong would understand that it'd be easier to charge people $30 an hour if he could actually teach them through an online training mode. Like, I've trained so many people to play Third Strike through training mode that if there was an online training mode, I could easily teach someone that's across the country or across the world. So that's what I'm trying to say, really. In terms of online play in general in Third Strike, I think it's pretty stupid, but it's all we have. So don't complain too much about it. As long as you can kind of change your game to depend on red parries less, and for Ken depend on the low medium kick hit confirm less, things like that, because you're gonna get worse by doing that. Someone asked, do you think you'll be selected for the Grandmaster 3S tournament, and how fair do you think they'll be in selecting the entrants? I don't know. I'm sure they have their own way of selecting it. I don't know if I would be selected. I would love to be. You know, be an honor. Like, I was posting online, like, it felt really cool being invited to that 16-man invitational a while ago, like the top 16 thing. That was like probably 2005 or so, and it'd be fun to do it again, just to give Third Strike a nice send-off, you know, and before Third Strike Online comes out. Yeah, I would love to be invited, but keep in mind, if it's like an 8-man bracket, I wouldn't even expect to be 16. I would love to be 16. I'd probably deserve that, unless it's like depends on whether they're picking a lot of Japanese people and stuff like that. But also, it says who would you pick for the Grandmaster? Well, easily, number one choice in terms of North America has to be Pyro League. Like, he has to be invited. You know, if he can't make it or something, that's fine. As long as he gets invited, that's all good. Because I think he's the number one third strike player in North America, hands down. I mean, I would put money on him over anyone else in third strike. Like, I don't know. You just have to invite him. It's kind of a slap in the face if you don't invite him. There's no point of having a tournament in that case. All the obvious ones like 5-star, you know, 5-star. I'd invite myself. If people like knew him better, I would invite Adam B from Toronto. He's got like a crazy ass Ken low medium kick hit confirm, and you're hearing a lot of hype about Vinny from SoCal. This kid is like pure talent. You know, he's a young kid, probably 18, 19 years old, really good. I think he was trained by 5-star, if anything. He's just an amazing player. I would love to see him in that bracket, even if people don't consider him a top 16 or if a top 16 player. I'm not saying they don't, but if they don't pick him, then I don't know. I think he deserves a spot. He's really good. I think the world of that guy. So shout out to Vinny Marano. Yeah. Standing 720 tutorial, or what you call a Taki Gaigas. No, there's no video. There's not going to be a video on that. Don't bother. Someone asked, what is your PSN screen name? Let's play some Street Fighter 4. Yeah, if you want. It's C-Royd. That's it. Someone asked, does Mopreme still play? I played him in EVO 2009, actually. It was Adam B and myself, Adam B and I, against Mopreme and Fuberduk, and we ended up playing them twice. That was fucking weird. Twice, like really early. It was a really poorly run tournament, but they beat us, and they easily made top 8. They're both really good. Yeah, Mopreme, he's married. I don't think he plays anymore, but if you invited him, I'm sure he'll play. All right, so I hope he gets that invite too. He has a twin brother, by the way, identical. He calls him. What he said to me was that he has a backup of himself. Yeah, kind of laughed when he said that. Someone asked if I can do a video on priority. Honestly, I don't really know how to explain that, except I don't believe in the word priority in terms of Street Fighter. Like, I think the word priority or high priority, low priority is a little bit overused. And I think it's just a lazy person or scrub's way of saying that a move has a lot of hit frames or has a lot of early hit frames versus other moves that don't have a lot of hit frames or early hit frames. That's all priority is, just, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Does PS2 mess up your arcade timing? It really does, but not to the point where it's a bother. There are a lot of players who refuse to play on console just because it's not the same as the arcade, and I can understand that. You know, if you're only able to play in the arcade, if you can't play in the PlayStation 2, that tells me that you just can't adapt or calibrate very well. That's what I think. I mean, there's no point whining and bitching about the console when they're very similar. I know that they're different, though, but it's not as different as, like, Street Fighter Alpha 3, all the different versions that you see in console, and none of which are arcade perfect. I think, if anything, which version of Alpha is closest to the arcade? I think it's the Saturn version is closest. Like, you know, PlayStation 2 is a little bit faster. It's not as bad as the Dreamcast version of Third Strike, so really there's no point bitching and whining. Most people can play in American sticks and Japanese sticks, and those are different too. What the fuck is the difference? Either way, you're going to be doing moves a little bit faster or a little bit slower, whether it's American or Japanese sticks. You're going to make a decision there. So playing on console is the same thing. You just have to kind of do moves a little bit faster or slower, and it's really easy to calibrate, like, according to that. Like, I don't see what the problem is. Someone asked, do you have any problems with Third Strike Online Edition? No, except for Red Parries being less useful, and hit confirms are, like Ken's low medium kick, you're less reliant on them. You're going to have to be. That's about it. X Hamtaro X asks how to cancel ducking upper into Super 3 with Dudley. When he's talking about crouching roundhouse. So after you do crouching roundhouse and you do the ducking upper, like, I know already you're mashing the super, and there's nothing wrong with that in this situation there. What you have to do is mash later. So do the ducking upper. Don't start mashing the super until you've actually seen the first hit of that uppercut connect first, and then you do the super. Then you start mashing it. Honestly, I mash that super. Everyone mashes that super. Anyone that doesn't is a fucking liar. Jack00125 asks, how do you train yourself to parry? Honestly, good question, Jack. That's the next video. I have it partially done, but I'm having technical problems, so just keep an eye on that. Caillou asks, what's the timing in the second Fukiagi, or uppercut with Makoto, for the 100% stun? I'm assuming it's for that combo. The second uppercut's not really the problem. Just know that it's a dash and then a jab uppercut. But know that it's the first one that's a difficult one. You have to do that first one extremely early. It's got to be Kara with a standing roundhouse. Well, speaking of which, a lot of people didn't like the way I said Kara, because I say Kara a lot. But I've already established that in the previous video. It's either Kara or Kara or Kara. And just to explain a little further, I'm Canadian. In Canada, we say a lot of things differently. We don't eat pasta, we eat pasta. We don't drive Mazdas, we drive Mazdas. And Marvel players, they don't have Moss sticks, they have Mass sticks. That's how it is in Toronto, the whole Eastern Canada. I know that for a fact. I'm not sure about Western or Central. You can just leave a comment if anything. But that's the reason why I say Kara. But I say Kara too sometimes. You know, it's like sometimes I say Ryu, sometimes I say Ryu. Who the fuck cares? Next question. F8 is Rippin asks, can you do the same crouching strong hit confirms with all the with all the Shotos? I think he means the fireball supers. So with Akuma definitely, Ryu definitely, Sean definitely. It's just that with Akuma, you're more likely because it comes out faster. Ryu, it's tough. Your opponents probably have to be right next to you, plus might have to be crouching. And Sean, same thing. Opponent probably has to be right next to you or has to be crouching. The reason why is because out of all the Shotos, Sean, Ryu, Ken, Akuma, well, first of all, Sean doesn't have a fireball, but the animation for doing the fireballs are the exact same in terms of the actual sprite. But the projectile animation, for the projectile sprite, they come out faster for Akuma. Okay, so he releases the fireball the fastest out of all the Shotos. After that is Ryu, after that is Ken's, which is the reason why Ken takes forever doing EX Fireball. Alright, so if you just do a standard fireball, you realize that Akuma's comes out a lot faster. Same with the fireball supers. Let's see. Womble on a Stick asks, what constitutes good Ken player to me? Tough to say. Number one, you have to be able to punish with low forward into strong uppercut into super is probably going to be maximizing damage whenever you're punishing a parry of some sort. Consistent Kara uppercuts or Kara uppercuts, that's pretty important for the mid-screen game. And the most important thing isn't really about being a good Ken player, it's about a good Street Fighter player. You gotta know how to zone. You gotta have successful poking ranges, and you know, and that's not a Ken specific thing. Hope you know what I mean there. It's tough to say, because honestly with Ken players, there's nothing special about most Ken players, including the top Ken players. There's nothing special about them except they just do things a little bit better than others, and that little bit extra bit of skill is enough to make that gap just a little bit wider between a top player and someone that's near the top and not exactly at the top. You just zone a little bit better. Yeah, this is my second time trying to upload this video. I had to re-edit it. You'll see there's a section that's just fucking cut off and stuff. It's because I originally had like an 18-minute video, and YouTube just took it right down because it's longer than 15 minutes. So this one's exactly 15 minutes. People told me to subscribe to, speaking of subscribe, please subscribe to the video because I need that. People told me to apply for partner, and I don't know, I mean, as far as I know, partnering is to make some money, which I would love. I'm not really in this to make money. I applied anyway. I'm sure gonna get shot down by YouTube, but if it can allow me to make longer videos, by all means, you better believe I'm gonna do it. Next video depends on whether I can get this PlayStation 2 working. Most likely, it's going to be another questions and answers video. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I'll see what I can do. So I'd appreciate if everyone could just subscribe to this video, and you know, I gotta get those subscriptions up because I gotta make longer videos. So I'm gonna probably start chatting up 5-star now on Facebook. He just came out the closet on Facebook, so I gotta just congratulate him and stuff. But thank you everyone, and I'll see you next video. Take it easy.